All right, let's look at another problem just to get some more practice in. And again, when we are solving a word problem, the first thing is to read the question, and it may be that you need to read the question 2 or 3 times before you understand it. Once you understand the question, then come up with what your variables are. And we'll state what the variables are, and then from there, we can go back and read the problem again and make our equations. Okay? When we're using systems of equations, we're always going to have two equations from that. So the question says two numbers have a sum. We know what sum means. So if we add the numbers together, it gives us a sum of 25 and a difference. Difference is subtract. So if we subtract the smaller value from the larger value, we get a difference of 5. So what are the two numbers? So our variables are, well, what are the two numbers? Okay, so we have one number's larger and one number's smaller. Okay, so let's let x be the larger number. Okay, and we could say let x be the smaller, but we have to pick one. Let y be the smaller number. Okay, so we've stated our two variables. We're looking for two numbers, so x and y are the numbers. Now let's go back to the equation and see if we can make equations with those variables. The two numbers, which we said are x and y, have a sum. They add up to 25. So our two numbers are x and y. So x plus y equals 25. What else does it say? They also, these two numbers, have a difference of 5. So if we take the larger number and subtract the smaller number, difference will be equal to 5. So our larger number was x, subtract the smaller number, and that difference is equal to 5. Okay, now in this example here, it would be very simple to isolate one of the variables and go ahead and substitute. We could also even go back and we could graph both of these lines and find the intersection points. The x value would give us the larger and the y value would give us the smaller. That's a time-consuming thing. Or we could use elimination. Okay, and I want to show elimination in this case. So the basic idea of elimination is that we are either adding or subtracting to both sides. And we know if we have an equation, for example, 2 is equal to 2, if I add any value to one side and the same value to the other, it will remain equal. Likewise, if I subtract a value from one side and the same value from the other, it will also be equal. Okay? Now, what our goal here is to get so that we have one variable. And when we substituted, we did that as well. So, for example, here, x plus y, if I was to add x minus y there, I would also have to add the same value here. So, but if I do that, x plus y, and I add x minus y, what's going to happen to y? We'll have y, and then we have a negative y, or y minus y. The y will become 0, and we only have one variable. Now I also have to do the same to this side in order for it to be equal. What the nice thing is we have here is that x minus y is equal to 5. So if I add x minus y here, and I add 5 here, it will remain equal because those are equal values. Okay? And it's important that we always line up the variables together. So some equations might not be lined up. For example, this might be minus 5 equals 0. That we would have to rearrange so that it was lined up, so that the variables are lined up with each other. Okay, and I'm just going to add these together, but I could actually subtract x minus y, and if I did that, x minus x, that would give me 0, and I'd have y minus a negative y, so I'd have 2y, and I could subtract 5 from 25. So I could do that as well. In this case, I have a lot of luxury. I have a lot of options. I'm just going to go ahead and add them together. So x plus y, and I'm going to add x minus y. And this gives me 2x, because x plus x. Y plus negative y, what's that going to equal? We did this by design. So y plus a negative y, or y minus y, is 0. And then 25 plus 5 is equal to 30. Okay? So I'm added this equation to this equation, and I've set that up so they eliminate. And then I just solve. So divide by 2, so x is 15. Okay? Now the easy part, I can substitute 15 for x minus y equals 25. Okay? Or sorry, that's plus y. And then I subtract 15, so y is equal to 10. So our larger number is 15, our smaller number is 10, so let's just check that. So 15 plus 10 is equal to 25, yep. And 15 minus 10 is equal to 5, so yes, it checks out there. Good job.